it is.
And hang on, I'm going to. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm losing.
Okay. All righty. I think we're good. We're live and we're recording.
All right, so
And-
now we'll move into the rescheduled public hearing for a special permit application number 2020-10-06-01 for an in-law apartment at 72 View Drive in Thomaston. Do you want to bring the floor plan up, please, Stacy?
Sure. Hang on one second. There you go.
So the big item of discussion from that carried over from last month was that very large hallway that we thought may be used as another living space or bedroom or something or office or something. So Stacy was up there, and I think she took some pictures too. But
Yes, I did.
Stacy, you want to brief us on your visit?
Yes, I was contacted by the chairs and we scheduled a time where I could come. I have the pictures up now, and this is the door from the back leading into where the apartment is. This is immediately as you walk in that door. So immediately to your left is one of the closet spaces. Then there's this shelving unit, and then you can kind of sort of see right behind here is the stairs that lead upstairs. And that is literally in front of you as you walk in. This is not a roomy area. This is over here is the door that I came in from the outside. And this is that hall space. Now, since they're in the process of moving, they had stuff all over the place, but I thought it served to show context that here are those those Tupperware storage things taking up space here. And over here is the apartment. This is another storage space. This is another storage space. So to my mind and based on my visual, yeah, you could maybe put a couch here. There was no putting a TV, aside from the fact that the closets are here, there's no putting a TV over here. There's just not enough room for that. There wouldn't, in my opinion, have been room for a bed unless you wanted to climb over the bed to get in here. This is the door into the apartment. It's open here, it's closed here. So I know there was some discussion of this. It was a regular old handle. This would be maybe perhaps something you want to require to have more of a bolt on it. But to my way of thinking, having been in there, I really don't see this being a room that one could set up as a bedroom. With the present configuration, with all of the closets and everything else in there. I mean, yes, you see a wall right here, but this is literally right next to the door. There was no place. Let me get back there. Because literally, I'm standing facing this and that wall was literally right on the other side of me. So I understand, I could certainly understand from the picture of the floor plan why there would be a concern. I don't see, I mean, I think it's a large hallway, but I don't see it being room size. That's my take.
What do you think, Tom?
I think they're just stretching the definition and calling it a hallway. I still say they're room size and they can be made into rooms, especially the one that's 12 by 14.
Is that the only rooms they want? Is that that's the extent of the apartment?
Hang on a minute,
Well,
I'll
it
put it
makes a
back up.
difference if they're hallways or rooms. If they're rooms, then it exceeds the size limit.
So this is the
Yeah.
door right here that I came in, and immediately
Yeah,
That picture was there, that wire rack
Yeah.
was right here.
Yeah.
And this is that area where all the storage bins were.
Yeah, so there's really only one potential room.
I mean, I can see from Tom's point of view on here, this does look huge. It's given the same size as everything else, but standing in it, it certainly in this area did not look at anywhere near as roomy as I was anticipating from this picture it would look.
do the closets have to be there? Are those like part of the,
At the previous meeting, and I don't know, did you happen to listen to it, Elizabeth?
no, I didn't.
Okay, so you're certainly welcome to participate in the public hearing, but you wouldn't be able to,
I forgot about that. I was gonna, yeah.
okay.
Whenever the
Brian
minutes,
wasn't
yeah.
here and Sally wasn't here, so it would have to be just 4 people on it. Unless you wanted to wait. I know they would prefer we did not wait.
hmm
Hang on one second. And I'm just gonna double check. No, I still don't have anybody here. But at the last meeting, the property owners had explained that they're selling the place, and the new buyers that are under contract want to have the accessory apartment there for one of their parents, who's not going to live there full time, but it's a situation where they're going to be there part of the year. So hence why they're trying to get this for them. He also explained that this storage area and this storage area and this storage area had been storage space for them as the primary owners of the residence. So they were saying that this was their space. They used the storage areas for their storage. And the apartment began over here and encompassed the bedroom, the bathrooms over here, and the closet over here. I mean, just food for thought, this is a very large closet. I mean,
Stacy, I was present for
oh, I'm
Zoom
sorry, Brian.
last meeting.
So then, yes, you could be seated for this instead.
So then why don't
Yeah,
we,
he speaks again.
yeah, so then for this particular application, why don't we unseat Elizabeth and seat Brian in her place?
I'm sorry, is the hearing still open?
The hearing is still open, so you can still participate, but when we get to the point of deliberations and or decision, you would have to
Yeah, I
remain
can't
silent.
vote. Yeah, I would have to, yeah.
Joe, what's your opinion?
I think that the storage areas really look like storage areas and not living areas. The picture that we saw the last time was that entire space open. And, you know, it looked big. I'm leaning toward now calling it a storage area. And
No, there's never been a question, I don't think, about the storage areas. It's only what they're calling the hall, which is
well, that's right,
an
Tom.
outrageous
Pardon
size
me.
for a hallway.
I meant to say hall. I meant to say hall, so strike that. I'm not talking storage area, I'm talking the hall area, which in the prior picture that I saw and the comment that I made, it looked like a room. I don't feel the same way looking at this picture. These are my thoughts.
Thanks. Bill, what do you think?
This is a very untraditional setup. Stacy, can you go back a couple of pictures? One more. Okay. There's one with a closet.
I'm sorry, you cut out on me.
With the closet, the walk-in closet.
Are you talking the layout picture or the actual pictures I took inside?
Layout,
I'm sorry.
layout picture. I apologize.
Sure. Okay, hang on one
The
moment.
layout.
Okay,
Floor plan, right? The floor plan?
okay, here we go.
Is that whole floor plan the entire apartment? I'm just confused. Even if I don't vote, I'm sorry, this is confusing.
No problem. This picture was taken from their listing on realestate.com, which is how we first found out about this. What they are contending is the apartment is, and I'll trace it with the arrow, is this area
Okay.
right here,
Oh,
including the bedroom here. With that door picture I was showing you is the door right here.
oh,
The picture where I have all the bins on the floor is me standing
Yeah.
here, looking this way. And the bins were all
Yeah.
in here.
yeah,
The one where there's the wire rack was right here, and that
Yeah.
storage place was here.
that room. So they're saying that that space, the entrance space, isn't part of the apartment, but it's the access they're gonna use for the apartment? Is that
So-
the, or the
so
floor-
we
something with
have
the
a,
square feet?
So we have a maximum limit on the apartment size when it's an in-law apartment. And
Yeah,
if we count those areas that are marked as hall space, as living area, it exceeds the maximum permissible area. If we don't count them as living space, then it's within the
Yeah.
regs. So primarily, that's what this discussion is about, whether or not that hall space should be counted as living area. All right, whether or not that space marked as hall on the drawing should be counted as living area.
yeah.
Brian, what do you think?
I think that it would be similar if, say, I split my basement in half and put an apartment in half of it. Why is the whole thing the apartment if the access to the finished area of the apartment is only half? Why would the whole thing be considered? If the entrance to it, you'd have to pass through communal storage area. Is it for the apartment? Is it for the house? Are we splitting hairs that much? It's still storage area. The apartment, I think they need to put a better door on it, but I think the hallway is not part of the apartment. That's part of the main house, which is the apartment's in, but I think we'd be splitting hairs, especially judging from the pictures too. The pictures told the story, in my opinion.
Well,
The
I don't.
hallway shouldn't be part of the apartment. They're part of the main house. It's the entryway to the apartment or the pass through for the apartment. So it's not really part of the apartment. That's my opinion.
So I don't think we're gonna get any new evidence coming in here. I'm kind of inclined to close the public hearing and take a vote, regardless of whether the applicant is here or not. I don't really see any sense in dragging it on. It's almost 9 o'clock. Somebody want to make a motion? As long as everybody's concerns have been talked about.
Well, I think another concern has come up. You know, if they're calling the area that Stacy outlined as the apartment, don't our regs require, number one, an outside entrance to the apartment and an inside entrance from the main house to the apartment? And I don't see them in that area that was outlined as, quote, the apartment.
Stace, you want to bring up that part of the regs so we can have a look at it?
Sure. And I did forget to mention, I have the WPCA, minutes up here from their November meeting, showing that they obtained the approval for the second connection. So I know that was one of the other housekeeping items, so I just wanted to make sure that was in the record. Here we go. Hang on one second. I think these were the questions that Tom raised.
So I think the entrance from the backyard counts as the exterior exit or entrance. The fact that it doesn't go directly into one of the rooms of the apartment, it goes through a hallway first. I don't think that necessarily makes any difference. That's my opinion. And the direct interior access is the stairway there that we saw in the picture.
Correct.
So in my opinion, those 2 points are met.
Just a matter of whether you call it a foyer or a hall or the apartment.
Right.
Well, it has to be, just my 2 cents. I mean, you can't access the apartment without cutting through that space. So I think of it just as an access. I mean, it's not. You have to go through there to get there, right? So
Right.
it's not. It's
Then
more
how do
like
you-
it could be any size or shape. It could have been a hallway like this. I think you're nitpicking if you're just because it's maybe a little wider than a traditional hallway that you're considering it something else.
How do you define direct then?
Direct?
Yeah, it says shall have direct interior access.
Without going outside, shall be provided between the apartment and the principal dwelling unit. Those are those stairs in the floor plan.
Okay, but it's not. The stairs are not going into the apartment directly.
I feel like it's part of that access, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Whether if it was stairs or a hall, that
I disagree with you on that, Tom. It doesn't need to go directly into the apartment. That's like having the stairs go into somebody's bedroom. There's always a door to go in and out of every room.
Well, I didn't say there couldn't be any doors.
well, think of those multi-family, buildings like multi-level where you might have to go through a little bit of a winding hallway before you access an apartment. I think of that as access and not the space of the apartment.
Right, I agree with
You're
you.
in a 3-story, so no matter what size or shape that hallway access is, doesn't matter. It's still an access, not a living space.
Stacy, is that heated space, the hallway?
I would assume so, just from having been in there. I mean, I believe it was a warm day, so I don't really know but the walls are finished. The storage areas are, you know, as you could see in the pictures, the wood was exposed and everything, but in that hallway area, the walls were finished and painted. It didn't give off a unfinished basement appearance, I'll put it that way.
Is this existing too, the apartment, like
Yes,
it's already there? Oh,
yeah.
So if we eliminated one of those hallways as living space, I'm just parsing right now, but how many square feet are they over?
We had done this at the last meeting.
I think it's 200 square feet.
I think that, wasn't it written down on the floor plan?
No, I penciled it in on one, but I don't still have that, I don't think.
Let me, hang on, I'll bring it back up.
Well,
No,
without
hang on.
the area, the 2 areas marked hall, it meets the regs.
Right.
With the areas marked hall, it does not meet the regs. So
Oh,
it doesn't really matter how much it's in or how much it's out. It's either in or out.
Yeah.
if you split hairs, then you gotta count the storage if you're gonna count, you know.
We only count living
Oh, because
space.
it's non-livable, because it's
Right.
not, they're considering it non-livable.
Right. So we don't count bathrooms, you don't count closets.
Yeah. Well, Rob, if you officially seated Brian, and I can't discuss, I could probably just leave. I think it's our last item on the agenda.
Yeah, if you're
Did you
not going to be
officially seat
seated,
him
you're,
already? It may well, yeah.
We haven't closed the public hearing, so you're still welcome to comment and ask questions. But once we close the public hearing, then you're shut off. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm not going to be able to contribute anyway, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
And we did
I just realized.
We did see Brian,
Yeah,
so you're all set.
Yeah, if he's seated, I may as well go. Hey, good night and happy holidays.
All right.
Good
See you
night.
next month.
Take care.
All right, look, we've been going around on this for a while. Why don't I take a motion to close the public hearing and we'll take a vote.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Thanks, Joe. Is there a second to the motion?
Bill Guerrero, second.
Thanks, Bill. Any discussion on the motion? All right, Brian Davis, how do you vote on the motion to close the public hearing?
Brian Davis votes aye.
Tom Mueller, how do you vote on the motion to close the public hearing?
Tom Mueller, aye.
Joe Hartz, how do you vote on the motion to close the public hearing?
Joe Hart's aye.
And Bill Guerrero, how do you vote on the motion to close the public hearing?
Bill Guerrero, aye.
And Ralph Salone also votes aye. So the public hearing is closed unanimously. Now we need to decide what we're going to do with this. We're either going to approve it or deny it, or approve it with conditions. Can we see the photograph of the back door again, please?
sure, hang on one moment.
to me from here, that looks like a regular exterior door, is it?
Yeah,
Okay, so if we're gonna count the hallways as hallways, this would serve as the exterior access.
yes,
And there would be no need to replace the door going into what they have marked the recreation area on the floor plan with an exterior door. There'd be no need to require it, I'm saying.
I guess we go back to, interpretation of the
Right.
definition there. Hang on one second, I'm pulling it back up.
So, well, that's my interpretation. Everybody has their own opinion.
Separate from the interior.
So why doesn't somebody make a motion to do something one way or the other, and let's have a vote on it?
I wanted to ask a question about the conditions that we could place on it.
Okay.
If we were to make a motion, could we place a condition that those two spaces marked hall cannot be living spaces?
Yes, we could do that.
Absolutely.
Would there be a check mechanism?
The check mechanism would be named Stacy Sesvick.
Realistically, there's not, I mean, yes, you can put it as a condition, and if was somehow to find out, like via reval or anything else like that, that's being used as a, yeah. Am I going to be able to get in whenever I want to periodically check on it? Realistically, not likely. Now, if they sell it next year and they're advertising it and it shows that that area is in fact now being considered part of the apartment, that's another way the internet is useful.
I would make a motion, but I don't know where to start.
Start wherever you're comfortable. We'll help you out.
All right, I would make a motion to accept the accessory use apartment, given the condition that on the floor plan, what is marked hallway is not interior living space.
So that's pretty good. I would say that you want to change your wording a little bit so that you're not making a motion to accept it. You're making a motion to approve it.
I'd make a motion to approve the site plan under the condition that the two rooms marked hall are not used as interior living space.
And I think that sounds okay, don't you, Bill?
Yes. Can the same be said for the walk-in closet?
Yeah, that could be another condition.
Because that walk-in closet is the size of a bedroom, a small bedroom.
So, Joe, do you want to amend your motion to say that in addition to the hallway, or the areas marked hall in the floor plan can never be used for living space, that the walk-in closet also can never be used for living space?
Should I start over or should I amend?
6 of one, half a dozen the other.
All right, I would make a motion to.
You want to withdraw the earlier one, though?
It hasn't been seconded, Joe. You can just redo it.
Okay.
All right, I'd make a motion to accept, is it accept or approve, Ralph?
Approve.
Approve.
I would make a motion to approve the site plan as an accessory use apartment if the two areas on the site plan marked hallway were not living spaces, and if the walk-in closet off of the kitchen area is not used as a living space.
And I think that's okay, right? Sound good to you, Stacy?
That's a perfectly suitable condition.
Okay.
Is there a
So-
desire to do anything with doors or anything else?
My opinion is that nothing else needs to be addressed, but that's my opinion. So if no one else has any strong opinions one way or the other, a motion's been made. Is there a second to the motion?
I will second that.
Thank you, Brian. A motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, Bill Guerrero, how do you vote on the motion to approve
Yep.
the,
Bill Guerrero, aye.
thank you. Joe Hartz, how do you vote on the motion to approve?
Joe Hart's aye.
Tom Mueller, how do you vote on the motion to approve?
Mueller, no.
Okay. Brian Davis, how do you vote on the motion to approve?
Brian Davis votes aye.
And Ralph Salone votes aye also. So Stacy, the motion carries with one dissenting vote.
Okay.
So that brings us to our adjournment. Would somebody like to make a motion to adjourn?
Tom Mueller, so moved.
Is there a second?
Joe Hart second.
Any discussion on the motion? Bill, I'll bet you this one will be unanimous. Bill Guerrero, how do you vote on the motion?
Bill Guerrero, aye.
Joe Hartz, how do you vote?
Joe Hart's aye.
Tom Mueller, how do you vote?
Tom Mueller, aye.
And Brian Davis, how do you vote?
Brian Davis aye.
And Ralph Salone also votes aye, so the motion does carry unanimously. Thank you, everyone. We'll
Hey,
see you next.
Ralph?
Yes.
Yeah. Just as a point of this, on a side point, is there anybody that needs to be re-upped after January 1st?
I don't know
Just
the
want to
answer
wish
to that.
just want to wish everyone a happy holiday and see you soon, I hope. Bye.
I don't, Bill, I don't know the answer to your question. We'll have to have Pat look
Yeah, I
into
can
it
ask
tomorrow.
Pat.
Why are you asking that, Bill?
Because the next meeting is what, January 6th, Bill? I think. It comes up quick, and if we have to be sworn in and all that stuff, we need to kind of know ahead of time.
Good. Thanks.
So thank you, everyone. See you all in a month, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year.
Same to everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.